I'm saying? So in other words, let's say they run the ball. Let's say they run the ball and it's now 10-13 left. Put 10-13, then run, enter any information. And just so you guys know, the this is a hot trial. I don't expect this to go perfectly. I don't expect it to be mistake free. It's just to start working the
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monarch Football here on AMHS Live. I'm Jack Smith, along with my partner Doug Albert, as the Archbishop Mitty Monarchs will be taking on the Archbishop Riordan Crusaders here at Foothill College in what looks to be an exciting game.
You certainly got that right, Jack. This is an important game for both Mitty and Riordan. Mitty is currently sitting at 1-0 in WCAL play and is tied for first place with Sarah, Valley Christian, and St. Ignatius. So winning tonight would certainly be helpful in keeping pace with the other teams. Riordan, on the other hand, is 0-1 in league play, tied for last place with St. Francis, Bellarmine, and Sacred Heart Cathedral. So a W tonight against a contender in Mitty would be a big pick-me-up for this Crusader team. So, Jack, what do you think is key for each team to come away with a victory tonight?
Good question, Doug. Quarterback Shamir Bey needs to be careful about keeping the ball in his guys' hands, as he has already committed 5 turnovers this season. That said, he is also averaging 187 yards per game and has 7 passing touchdowns to go along with 3 rushing touchdowns, so he is a running threat. If Mitty can win the turnover battle, they are in a good spot. For Riordan, they need to keep up momentum in the running game. The game plan flows through running back Faison Ruth, who has rushed for over 700 yards this season and has 9 touchdowns, averaging 184.8 yards per game, while also leading the Crusaders in receiving yards. Riordan is no doubt a run-first offense, and their quarterback, Azan Ledbetter, has had a dismal start to the year. So if they can get it going on the ground, things will likely be looking good for them.
An important note on Riordan's side of the field is the completely revamped coaching staff revolving around head coach Mark Modesti. The thing that new coaches struggle with the most is building a bond with players early on, but so far Riordan has not had that problem. The players are completely bought into the new staff, and they are all chomping at the bit to upset these Monarchs.
Doug, I had a chance to meet with Mitty's offensive coordinator, Danny Sullivan, this week, and he was able to tell me a lot about this Riordan defense we'll be seeing tonight. He believes that the reason Riordan gets gashed relatively often is their aggressive desire to make big plays. He also believes that they are much better at stopping the run than the pass, so watch for Mitty to air it out with Shamir Bey.
If Mitty does decide to commit to the pass, they had better watch out for defensive end Ian Rames Tupula. He is a game wrecker with 4.5 sacks already, even though it's only been 4 games. Watch for him to make an impact getting after the quarterback.
On the injury front, it is looking like the Monarchs are going to be playing without their defensive leader, Zach Posey. Posey went down with a lower body injury mid-game against Bellarmine and wasn't able to recover in time for tonight's matchup. The Monarchs will also be without Adam Rusbolt, who has a torn ligament in his arm, and James Thomas, who has a back injury. This will give Zach Tabancura another chance to start at running back, which he took full advantage of last week against Bellarmine, running all over the Bells' defense. Same thing goes for Connor Gamblin, who emerged as a top receiving threat last Friday. Expect these two, along with Curtis Alvis at corner, who had a great week of practice, to break out today.
All right, thank you, Jack, and this will certainly be a competitive contest. Up next is the national anthem. Then we will be back for kickoff. You are watching Monarch Football here on AMHS Live.
Thanks again to the Archbishop Mitty Pep Band for their wonderful rendition of Star Spangled Banner. The Monarchs are going to be in the black and gold uniforms tonight with the gold helmets, and Riordan is going to be in the all-white with the purple helmets. Riordan won the toss and deferred, so Mitty will receive the ball on the kickoff.
Pinche pendejo.
All right, just absolutely beautiful night for some football. Clear skies, got that nice October breeze. Good way to end a long week.
Oh yeah, it's been a long week, I'll tell you that. But you know, sun setting, kind of blue sky. The Monarchs are back to receive the kick. You have Ian Collier and Ray Mello Murphy. Ray Mello Murphy was last season's sophomore of the year in the WCAL, and he already has 18 receptions for 380 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is the most explosive player on every field he steps on and is arguably the best player on the field tonight. Look for him to make an impact in the kicking return game.
It looks like it'll be for the Crusaders for the kickoff.
Number 18, Max Meadows, to kick off tonight's game on Archbishop.
All right, the Mitty Monarchs are set for their second league game of the year against the Archbishop Riordan Crusaders. And toe meets leather, and we are off in this game. It's a squib kick. Ooh, it's slightly juggled by the Monarchs, but they fall on it, and it's going to be their ball at the 47-yard line.
Wow, good start to get the ball all the way.
Yeah, normally you don't see an onside kick on the first kickoff of the game.
Yeah.
Riordan probably trying to get themselves a little momentum. You know, starting with the ball and getting it to start the second half is just a great start for your team. But unfortunately, you know, they couldn't execute. And so the Mitty Monarchs offense will come out on the field led by quarterback Shamir Bey. On the field right now, we have Shamir Bey. It looks like he's going to be going empty for his first snap. You have Zach Webb and Ray Mello Murphy to the bottom of your screen. Look for him to try and reach Ray Mello Murphy here. He takes the snap, steps back, quick throw out to the sideline, caught at the 50, and ran to the Archbishop Riordan 44.
12, Shamir Bay, pass complete to number 4, Hunter Lucas. Up to the...
Yeah, Lucas has played in all the games this season, but has yet to make a big impact. So it's great to see him get a target on his first play.
Yeah, only averaging 7 yards on the season, so hopefully he can get a big game right here.
All right, Monarchs bring it back. Zach Tabankura. Oh, Shamir Bey keeps, and he's got the first down. He is to the 40-yard line.
Shamir Bay on the option.
Looked like a read option there. Tabankura might have had a little bit more room to the outside, but Shamir Bey took the guaranteed first down and got to the 40-yard line himself. And just like that, within 2 plays, the Monarchs are already on Riordan's side.
First and 10, Archbishop Mitty on 40.
Hopefully they can cash in here. Do not waste any opportunities.
Agreed. You've got to make the Crusaders pay for onside kicking and not getting the ball. Bey brings Collier in motion, and he hands it off. Collier, he's down. Oh, he jukes him out at 25, and he's down to the 18-yard line. Great moves right there by the junior Ian Collier. So 3 plays in, and the Monarchs are already inside the red zone. This is a crucial territory. They must capitalize on and score touchdowns. Touchdowns in the red zone are the key to winning the game for these Monarchs. You cannot settle for field goals, especially with Gunnar Weidick being partially inconsistent.
Pretty good sign around it. So we'll see if they can cash in.
Bey still has Tabankura in the backfield with a stack to his right. He hands it off to Tabankura, and he is going to be tackled down at about the 12-yard line. 8-yard runs on first down are nothing to complain about. If they can keep moving the ball like this, it might be a rough day for these Crusaders. On the field right now, we have Hunter Lucas, Ray Mello Murphy, Connor Gamblin, and Zach Tabankura to go along with Ian Collier and 5 offensive linemen. Looks like the Monarchs were doing like we said, and if the Crusaders are better at stopping the run, make them stop the pass. Putting out 4 receivers, and explosively fast wide receivers too. Bay takes the snap again. Another handoff to Tabancura. He cuts to the outside. He's going to be brought down maybe a yard short of the line to gain, or make that 2 yards short. A gain of 1. So if the Crusaders can make a stand right here, that'd be considered a great win for their defense. Make the Monarchs kick a field goal. Not an easy field goal, but with the start that they had, keeping them to 3 would be a monumental win. You have Connor Gamblin at the top of the screen and Raymello Murphy in a stack. Oh, and Shamir Bey runs the wrong way on an option. He is going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage at about the 22-yard line. And it looks like Coach Sione is going to be sending out the kick team right here. Gunnar Weidick has been okay on field goals this year. He's missed a couple of extra points, and this looks like he's lining up for what should be a 43, 42-yard field goal.
Loss of 6 on the play, 4th down and 4. Monarchs will try a field goal.
Yeah, Weidick so far is 15 of 17 on PATs. And he's only kicked 2 field goals. And that one's going to be up, and he got it. That would have been good from 50. An impressive kick from Gunnar Weidick has the Monarchs up 3-0. And we'll be back when Riordan has the ball on AMHS Live.
37-yard field goal for Gunnar Weidick. Monarchs stretch first 3-0. 8:15 to go in the first. Kickoff for Archbishop.
So Gunnar Weidick, fresh off a field goal to give the Monarchs the lead, is back there to kick it off to the Riordan Crusaders. And they'll look to answer the Mitty offensive scoring with a score of their own. And Weidick kicks it off, and it looks like it's to be a little short of the end zone, returnable. It's taken about the 3, run out, and it looks like he's be chopped down right at the 15-yard line. That was number 44 for the Monarchs. That would be Moscow, a senior, making a great play on special teams.
First and 10 Crusaders.
So the Crusaders will come out on offense, not terribly skilled at the quarterback or wide receiver position, but their running back is one of the best in the Bay Area. Faison Ruth has been absolutely dominating so far this year. They'll look to get it going on the ground with him.
Yeah, something like 700 yards this season so far.
Something like that. That could also be in part to their 295-pound fullback who gets the handoff here, gets it to about the 20. How many times do you see a starting fullback is also a starting nose tackle in high school?
I just got to be the first.
Yeah, him and his brother, both 295 pounds, playing for the Crusaders. He is only a sophomore at 295 pounds. He is an absolute monster.
Gain 4 yards to the 19.
6 foot too, so.
They line up in the I formation. Faison Ruth dotting the I. He'll get the handoff here, and he runs downhill for about 2 yards. So we were talking about how bad of a start Yvonne Ledbetter's had to the season. And I got to tell you, I don't know whether it's due to scheme or whether he's maybe not confident enough, but he is 13 for 38. That's a 34% completion percentage for only 120 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I don't know if maybe he got down in the game and he's trying to make some plays, but for a starting quarterback in high school, I don't care how dominant your running game is, you have to be better than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Only a junior, so maybe he has some room to grow. But to beat the Monarchs, I think he has to play much better.
Yeah, as important as your running game is, you cannot rely on it that much. You got to have a backup.
And the Crusaders went with a little trickeration right there. Got the Monarchs to jump off sides, most likely. So that'll move the chains on 3rd down. Inexcusable. You know that the Crusaders like to run a lot of trickeration and misdirection. They move someone, and all 4 of the Monarch defensive linemen jumped. And that's going to move the chains, giving the Crusaders a free 1st down.
The worst kind of 1st down to give away is a free one. Never wanted that to happen.
Looks like they're lining up with 2 fullbacks. The handoff is to Ruth. And Monarchs do pretty well, bottling up for maybe a gain of 4 or 3 yards. So far, it doesn't look like they're going to sniff passing the ball. It looks like it's going to be Ruth downhill all game. And the Monarch cheering section going crazy. That's the pit, decked out in all tie-dye for this game. Probably the best cheering section in the Bay Area, in my opinion.
Probably, definitely.
They get very loud every game, and they're a crucial part to this Monarch team, hyping them up the entire game. Same formation as last play. Oh, it's going to be a pass, a screen pass, and that's going to be sniffed out at the 29-yard line. That's a great play by the Mitty defense, swarming to the ball, tackling behind the line of scrimmage.
Number 10, 18, complete to number 6, 8
Well, that right there probably tells you why we're definitely a run-first offense.
Yeah, that's Curtis Alvis, who Coach Danny Sullivan told me had a great week in practice, really impressed the coaching staff, and right there with a great tackle to stuff the first Riordan passing attempt of the day. Alvis has got to step up with the injuries that the Monarchs have on the defensive side of the ball. And it looks like he's lining up one-on-one at the top of your screen. Back to pass again, it's a screen. Faison Ruth gets it, and he's going to be stopped for about 4 yards. So
it looks like the punting team is coming out now.
So the Crusaders are passing the ball, but you can see it's safe, completable passes for Ledbetter. Obviously, they probably don't trust him to throw downfield, but 2 screen passes, a wide receiver screen and a running back screen. Just get it in the hands of your playmakers, and they will make plays for you. No need to make Ledbetter make all the ridiculous, crazy throws. Just get it into the hand of his skill positions, and they'll make the plays for him. Ray Mello Murphy back. Oh, and that punt might have been blocked. And it's going to go out at about the Riordan 45-yard line. It's hard to tell whether that was blocked or just shanked by the punter, but that's going to be prime field position for the Monarchs.
That was Roberto Alas with the punt.
Oh, they're going to give the Monarchs the ball at the 41-yard line. So the Monarchs up 3-0, get a stand on defense, and now they're going to send the offense out with a chance to go up 2 scores already in Crusader territory.
Roberto Alas, the Riordan kicker, having a decent season, averages 35.1 yards per punt with 492 on the year so far. He's played all 4 games.
All right, so the Monarch offense is back and empty. Shamir Bey takes the snap. He's going to go deep over the middle. That's Ian Collier. Oh, sidestep to tackle. Another one, and he has to be tackled down at the 10-yard line. Quick strike from the Monarch offense.
And he was tackled by Lavaka Kifu, the other 295-pounder on the team.
22, Lavaka Kifu.
So the Monarchs will be taking on the Serra Padres next week, and Serra is already up 7-0. They score on their first possession of the game, so that's going to be a big matchup for the Monarchs next week. If they can sneak out of here with a win, they'll be 2-0 in the WCAL, taking on Serra to solidify their spot as one of the contenders. Bay takes a snap. He's going to run a pitch option. Tabby Cure gets the ball, and he's going to break into the end zone for a touchdown. The Monarchs are going to go up 9-0, 10-0 pending an extra point. Gunnar Whiting. A great design play. Aggressiveness off the edge by the Crusaders. Bay reads it, pitches to Tabakura, and he breaks through the tackles for a touchdown.
Less than 8 minutes in the game, the Monarchs are already up 10-0. Cannot complain about that.
The last 2 games they have played, they have gotten off to very hot starts, and it looks like that's what they're doing again today.
Just gotta keep going and do not look back.
So the Monarchs line up in this weird formation, and then they bring it back into the field goal unit. They do that almost every time on PATs, trying to confuse the special teams for the Crusaders. And Whiteck will line up to kick an extra point. Snap, hold, and kick is good. And The Monarchs are up 10-0 already.
And the kick is good. 4:03 to go. First
So the Monarchs with a great start.
extend their lead. Archbishop 18.
Very excited on the sideline, getting the cheering section going. We will be back when the Crusaders have the ball on AMHS Live.
Also, Mitty women's water polo today won 7-3 over Los Altos.
Yeah, so that's their second win of the week. They won on senior day too. And here we've got a pretty good game already. The Monarchs are up 10-0. Looking to get another stop.
Gunnar Wydick hard at work today.
Yeah, they didn't even start with the ball, or they started with the ball, and he has already kicked off the ball 2 times. And he puts it into the end zone for a touchback. In high school football, if you catch it in with any part of your body touching the end zone, it is automatically a touchback.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it. So kickers just try and boom it, not with direction, but with magnitude as far as they can. And you put it in the end zone, it's a touchback. So the Crusaders will start with the ball on the 20-yard line. The Mitty defense coming back out after getting a stop on Riordan's first drive. Looks like the Monarchs will go with a 1 high safety look, bring in 4 linebackers. It's a misdirection play. Oh, and it's a great tackle by the Monarchs. That's number 55 for the Monarchs, Davis Salam. He's a monster. He's huge.
Also the center, too.
He is also the center. Probably the best player on the Monarchs offensive line, making a great tackle right there, stuffing the wide receiver on the reverse.
One of the top wrestlers, too.
Yeah, he's the epitome of a Monarch athlete. Excels in multiple sports. Just great on the football field, great on the wrestling mat. So Ledbetter will take the snap under center. It's a pass, another short pass. Oh, and he's gonna be down right there, tapped by Curtis Alvis for about a gain of 5. So the Crusaders will face a 3rd and 5, and the Monarchs will change personnel, go for more a short yardage personnel, trying to stop the Crusaders from getting a first down and getting the ball back yet again already in this half.
Yeah, obviously you can see the passing is just not working out for Riordan.
I also believe that they're not giving Ledbetter as much of a chance as maybe they should. He hasn't thrown a pass yet that's made more than 4 yards in the air. That one complete to Schrammel Jr., but still not airing it out very much.
Yeah,
and it's going to be another pass and another screen play. Is Alvis going to make the tackle? And he does, about 3 yards short. So Coach Sullivan must have been right. That's 2 quick tackles for stops for Alvis. And the punting unit will be sent back out again for the Crusaders.
And as you were saying, it's hard to blame the quarterback Ledbetter when he doesn't even get that many opportunities.
Yeah, you could say that's more on the play calling than Ledbetter because they haven't really given him a shot to throw the ball yet. And whether that's because he has been doing poorly this year or because they just don't trust this Mitty defense, you know, it's hard to blame it on him. So back to punt for the second time. Oh, it's a high snap. Oh, what a one-handed snag, and he gets it off. You know, that's the Riordan play of the game so far, and a fair catch for Mello Murphy at the 50-yard line. I'll tell you, if he didn't snag that with one hand, that was going to be a disastrous play in the end zone.
Seems like every kickoff or punt that he's received has been either at Riordan's side or pretty darn close to it.
Yeah, you just can't lose the field position battle like that. That's just a way to lose the game very quickly. And if you let it get out of hand, that's dangerous.
And so far, they've been taking advantage of it, up by a touchdown and a field goal already. It's only the first quarter. Yeah,
if only the Monarchs could have taken advantage on their first drive, they'd be up 14-0 with the ball already, something that you rarely see this quick into the first half. So it looks like the Monarch offense is going to head back to the sideline. Don't know if they have called a timeout or is referees doing. But they'll be heading back out, trying to go up by 3 scores. I've never seen this confusion before with the referees. Both teams are now on their sideline. Maybe they went to a TV timeout, but we already know that's not a thing.
Yeah.
But both teams standing on their sidelines, the referee's standing over the ball at the 50-yard line. You'd think they'd try and get this along as quickly as they could. Okay, they're calling the teams back out on the field. Maybe there was a discrepancy over whether it was Monarch ball or not, but right now it's going to be Monarch ball at the 50, close to the right hash. Romello Murphy and Hunter Lucas in a stack on the bottom of your screen. And Shamir Bay's going to get the snap. It's a fake reverse to Ian Collier. Oh, it's Bay's be pressured, and he throws it just wide of Collier's outstretched hands. So the Monarchs should be facing 2nd and 10 at their own 50.
Sacred Heart at St. Francis right now, currently 0-0. So that's definitely a game to watch for Riordan as they are tied in last place with them.
Bay hands it off. That's going to be number 20, Philip Karangadang. And he's going to get 5 yards, but there's red on the or yellow on the field. That's going to be a flag. Expect maybe a holding call here, illegal hands to the face, and it's going to be a hold on the Mitty offense. So that's going to back him up 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 20.
Crusaders accepts the penalty. Back to the Archbishop Mitty 45-yard, 10-yard.
So the Monarchs will be facing 2nd and 20 on their own 45-yard line. Oh, apparently that's only a 5-yard penalty.
15.
So 15 yards to go on 2nd down for the Monarchs. Looks like they'll be going with 4 wide receivers again. Oh, make that 5. Shamir Bay in the empty pocket. Puts the receiver in motion, fakes the handoff, and they sniff it out. And he is going to be, he sneaks out of there, and he is going to gain about 7 yards.
Nice.
Mastery in the pocket for Shamir Bay. Ducks in and out like a magician. Gets through to about for an 8-yard gain in what looked like it could be a tackle for loss, making it very long 3rd down attempt. I'll hand it to him. That's one of the things he does very well. He's great at avoiding tackles and making people miss, something that most quarterbacks can't do as well as he can.
He successfully executes their fake-offs right there.
The Monarchs go with a 4 wide receiver personnel. Shamir with a running back on his right hip. He takes a snap, looks left, throws left. It's going to be completed. Ian Collier sidesteps the tackle, but he's going to be taken down short of the line to gain. Piled with defenders from the Crusader defense.
I believe that's Mitty's first 4th down of the game.
And unless they're crazy, they're going to be bringing out the punt team here. Funny note, actually, the receiver who just caught that pass, Ian Collier, is also the team's starting punter.
Really?
Yes. He actually booms it. He's got a cannon of a leg, so he'll look to down one, maybe inside the Riordan 10 if he can get lucky. But for now, it looks like they're bringing the punt team out on 4th and 8.
And that is the end of the first quarter after 1 here at
That's the end of the first quarter here on AMHS Live. We will be back at the start of the 2nd quarter for most likely a Mitty punt.
The second quarter begins. It is 4th and 8.
All right, so as you were saying, Mitty's going to punt it here.
Actually, no. They're sending out quarterback Shamir Bey.
Oh,
He looks a little deep. Maybe this is a pooch kick. The field is flipped, and it looks like someone's going to call a timeout. It's going to be Riordan. Maybe not expecting a 4th down go for the Monarchs. They sent out their punt return unit. So we'll see what Coach Sione does here. He could try and deke the Crusaders against and send out the punt team here, maybe expecting them to be on defense. But it seems awfully odd, even with a 10-point lead, to go for it here at the Riordan 48-yard line. Maybe a little bit of a gamble, something that'll give the Crusaders a little momentum if they can stop them. But I would personally disagree with the call because you have a 10-0 lead, your defense is playing well. Why give them the ball at the 50-yard line when you've been winning the field position or the position of field battle all game?
and you're already basically on the other team's side of the field, so you're pretty deep.
Yeah. So Collier walking out on the field like he expects to punt, and Shamir Bey is going to sit down on the bench with his helmet off. So most likely a punt from the Monarchs. We'll see what the Crusaders go with on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see if they're lined up in the right formation this time. But I agree with the call. I believe punting is the best option. With a 10-0 lead and a strong defensive performance so far, give them a chance to stop them. And indeed, it's Collier coming out.
Ian Collier having a solid season punting, 299 yards on the season, and an average of 33.2 yards per punt in all 4 games this year. So see if he can punch one in here.
He gets a snap. Oh, apparently there was a flag before the play. False start, most likely, on the Monarchs. That's going to move it 5 yards back. Makes Collier's punt a little bit harder.
Procedure against the Monarchs. 5-yard penalty back to their 47.
Back to receive is Jackson for the Crusaders. An electric wide receiver who also can play running back. Maybe their backup running back who also has a great knack for catching the ball. And Collier gets the snap again, a low snap, gets off the kick, hand in his face, and it's going to bounce. And it looks like it's going to be touched by the Monarchs at about the 17-yard line. Collier got bumps, no flag thrown on the play. Didn't get hit. Oh, now there's a flag. Whether that's Collier complaining or on the original hit, it was very late. If the flag is on Collier, there's absolutely no room for that. Your team isn't playing well. You cannot afford to make boneheaded mistakes like that, complaining to the refs, getting a flag. We'll see what they call right here. Collier looking a little confused on the sideline. Maybe he knows it's his fault. But it looks like maybe the ref is picking up the flag and putting it back in his pocket. They're not going to call anything.
Penalty was running into the kicker. Simple form against the Monarchs.
Actually, the penalty was running into the kicker, which is a shorter penalty that would not have given the Monarchs an automatic first down. And it looks right now that they have declined it, because they would have had to punt anyway, and they seem content with the punt that Collier got off right there. So the Crusaders, again, will start inside their own 20-yard line on offense, going left to right. Puts the receiver in motion, the snap, hands off to the fullback. Oh, and he's going to bust one.
Ooh.
And he gets taken down. A nice chop tackle. Again, the Crusader rushing attack looking to get a little bit going. Maybe Faison Ruth wasn't doing as well as they expected him to. They hand off to the big fullback, who's very hard to take down. And Alvis saved a would-be touchdown.
That was Kimoetu Kifu, the 295-pound sophomore.
And I'll tell you, for 295 pounds,
That
was extremely fast.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to get the ball and maybe bulldoze a couple of people, but just be a little bit too slow to get to the second level. But he busted through the linebackers like it was nothing.
Yeah, but good on Curtis Alves for taking him down.
Hand off to Ruth, and that is going to be a great stop at the line of scrimmage.
Jacob Miller with the sack.
Yeah, it's number 10, two-sport athlete Jacob Miller. He's a junior. The great stop, playing D-end. Read it like a book. Faison Ruth ran right into him, and he brings him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Crusaders on their own 29-yard line. We'll see if they go for another run or a pass, but they haven't seemed to be giving Ledbetter very many opportunities, so I'd expect a run here. Looks like they bring in the fullback to play the extra right tackle position, going with 7 tackles. And they hand off to Ruth again, and he is again chopped down for a very minimal gain, looking like he only gained about 2 or 3.
Ruth on the run. Stop by Moscow.
I think this is a great game plan for the Monarchs. They know Ruth is coming into this game, slicing through other defenses like a hot knife through butter. But they are going through and they are committing to stopping the run, allowing the Crusaders no yards on the ground, forcing them to let Ledbetter pass. Something
Looks
that
like David Salam is down on the field, possible injury.
he dealt with a little bit of injury problem last week against Bellarmine, got pulled for a couple sequences, but then eventually came back into the game. This would be a terrible loss for the Monarch offense and defense. He looks to be in some pain, has not turned over yet, and he's being checked out by the Mitty training staff. We will return after the injury. By the trainer. Looks to be a lower body injury, limping. Maybe it's his right leg, right foot, right ankle. We won't know, but they're warming up another center, and they've also got to warm up another D tackle. They're losing a key piece on both sides of the ball, as Salam's going to be brought over to the trainer's table and checked out. Hopefully he can return to this game, but if it's something like Bellarmine last week, I would not want them to rush him and have him get injured again. And if I'm not mistaken, Salam is also their long snapper, so they just lost 3 positions in one play. And Ledbetter is going to roll out to pass, throws on the run. He's got a completion to his fullback.
Yeah, as we were saying, as helpful as it is having one player in Salam playing all those positions, it really sucks when he's out and now you got 3 positions to fill.
That's why you have to have players on the bench able to step up. And after a short completion,
That is a 7-yard gain to the
it looks like they're going to be bringing out
brings
the
up 4th down.
punt team again.
and 4.
So this is becoming a punting battle. That was Kifu on the reception, but he's too big to break a pass like that for a first down.
Roberto Alas back for the punt.
The Monarchs sent pressure at the punt. They're not going to get there. The kick is off. It's a wobbly one. Caught by Raymelo Murphy, and he's going to have a little bit of space, and he is going to be taken down at the 48-yard line. And again, the Monarchs with tremendous field position, something that the Crusaders just can't seem to fix. So the Monarchs will be sent back onto the field with a 10-0 lead with 9:40 to go in the third quarter, and we will be back to you when the Monarch offense comes back onto the field.
That is a 14-yard return for Murphy after the Alice punt of 27 yards. Monarchs first and 10.
So the Monarchs offense comes back onto the field. Quarterback Shamir Bay with a running back to his right side. Shifts him over to his left. That's Tabankura. It's a handoff to him. He's running right tackle. Cuts it up inside, and he's going to have some space, and he is going to be taken down at about the 25-yard line. And just like that, Monarchs are back into Riordan territory. So we were saying earlier in pregame that the Crusaders are better at stopping the run than the pass, but so far it just doesn't seem like they're doing as well as that.
Yeah, sure.
It seems like maybe they were thinking that too when they keyed in on stopping Shamir Bay, but so far they've been gashed by the run, running outside, a little maybe aggressiveness on the ends, busting inside to get the quarterback, and then they just get blocked, sealed on the outside, and Tabankura's got a lot of running lanes, right tackle and left tackle. They send Raymelo and Raymelo Murphy in motion. He's going to get the handoff, and he's going to go for about 5 yards off the right side before he's knocked out of bounds.
And it's Kevin Nguyen taking over at center for the Monarchs, the 220-pound senior.
Knocked out.
He's got big shoes to fill. Looks like they're checking out Salam's ankle. Maybe got rolled over in the pile. But the Monarchs have a great training staff, and so they'll try and get him back in tip-top shape as fast as they can and see if he can return to this game. The Monarchs will bring Karangdang into the backfield with Shamir Bey. He's got 4 receivers: Connor Gamblin, Ian Collier, Raymelo Murphy, and Hunter Lucas. From the bottom to the top of your screen. Handoff goes to Philip Karangdang, and he's going to have a little bit of room, and he's going to have close to a first down, possibly a first down. Looks like they're going to be spotted about the 15-yard line, which would be good enough for the first down, and indeed it is, as they are going to move the chains. It'll be first down and 10 from the Riordan 15-yard line.
Tackled by Keffer. That is a 7-yard rush to the 15.
So the Monarchs are going to bring 3 receivers on one side, stacking Murphy and Collier as they've done a lot of times this game, possibly creating a little bit of confusion for the defensive backs of the Crusaders. It's to be a quick snap, handoff, left side, cut up the middle, and it's going to be taken down for a gain of 4 yards possibly.
Karangdang, the ball carrier.
So Mitty in the huddle. It'd be great to get a touchdown here, go up 17-0. It's got to be hard to come back, especially from a 3-score deficit in the first half.
Tackled by 71.
Bey and Karangdang in the backfield. Bey gets the taps in the shotgun. It's a pass. He gets flushed out of the pocket. He's got to get rid of it, but he does not, and he's going to be sacked for about a 7-yard loss. In that situation there, he didn't have a whole lot of time to throw the ball away, and he had 3 defenders swarming in on him. So, great decision, just go down.
And it looks like it was Lavaka Kifu and Douglas Pineda with the half sacks right there of Shamir Bey.
So Raymelo Murphy surprisingly getting taken off of the field for Zach Webb, a junior, 2-sport athlete who also plays middle linebacker for the Monarchs.
Douglas Pineda on the sack. 3rd down and 15.
I'll tell you, I've never seen someone who works harder in the gym than Zach Webb. He's just an absolute freak. Oh, and it looks like they flushed Shamir out of pocket again, and he is going to be taken down at the original line of scrimmage. So the Monarchs are going to have to settle for yet another field goal.
Unless they're crazy and they go for it.
I find that hard to believe. It looks like they're going to send out Whiting again, looking for a 13-0 lead.
Gets back to the...
So from about the 20-yard line, it'll be about a 37-yard field goal, a little bit longer than an NFL extra point. We'll see if he can hit this to put the Monarchs up. Oh, actually, they're going to say it's at the 15-yard line, so even a much shorter field goal, 32 yards.
Here comes Ghana Whiting.
Whiting takes his steps back. The snap is good, the hold is down, and Whiting oh no, they're going to say he missed wide left. Just pulled it a little bit, so the Crusaders dodge a bullet, and they're going to only be down 10-0 with 7:08 to go left in the second quarter.
With 7:08 to go in the first
Lucky
half.
for the Monarchs, they're pretty deep, so Riordan's not going to be too far up.
Yet again, Riordan starting in their own side of the field, even deeper than they would like to be. And as well as we talked about the Mitty cheering section, they've been relatively quiet tonight, not helping their team out a whole lot. Not a whole lot of cheers going on. They haven't had a whole lot to cheer for because it's been punts and missed field goals for the last 20 minutes or so. But they got to get loud to help these Monarchs.
Well, they need
2 backs in the backfield. They put receiver in motion. His handoff. Oh, they're gonna blow the play dead before it even gets going. Looks like there's flag on the field. We'll wait for the official's call, see if it's moving back. The Crusaders seem to think it's on them, which will put them even farther in their own territory. False start on the offense. That'll back them up 5 yards. So it'll be on the Riordan 15-yard line.
1st and 15.
interesting thing is Gunnar Whiting missed the field goal at the 15, but if you miss inside the 20-yard line on a field goal, they will move it to the 20-yard line, making it a little bit more fair. So the Monarchs will line up on defense to try and stop this Crusaders offense from going the length of the field and try and get the ball back before this first half comes to a close. Fake handoff to a receiver, handing up the middle, and another strong tackle for the Monarch defense. They're just absolutely keyed in on the running game for Faison Ruth and the Crusaders.
Tackle by Riordan.
So Doug, what do you think Riordan has to do to get it going? They haven't been able to get anything on the ground or in the air against this Monarchs team. What do they have to do?
I mean, as good as a running game is, it's not always going to be perfect, so they got to be giving Ledbetter more chances.
I agree. They're trying all this misdirection, but the Monarchs seem to have practiced that. If you just go with normal passes against this Monarch defense, you may have a little bit more. And there it is, a short out route and a great move by the receiver, but he's going to be taken down at about the 23-yard line, making a 3rd and manageable for the Crusaders. Looks like about 7 yards.
Ledbetter's pass complete to number 5, Leo Morangi. Tackle by Alba.
So it'll be 3rd and about 7 yards for the Crusaders on their own side of the field at about their 23-yard line. Trying to get to the 30 is the yard to gain.
It looks like David Salam is up and walking around on his own on the sideline.
That's
which is a very
great to
good
see.
sign.
Whether he comes in or not is a different story. More misdirection is to be handed off to the outside, and he is going to be taken down, but not before he gets to the line to gain for a first down for the Crusaders.
Ledbetter on the option keeper. Picked up the first down to the 31. That is an 8-yard gain.
So that's the first down Riordan has had all game?
No, I think they had one on one of their earlier drives. So they're going to have the ball about their 31. They're lining up 2 running backs again, put their hand in the dirt. Another screen pass, just giving. Oh, and that's looks like a hold that is not going to be thrown, and it's going to be a great screen pass down to about the 26-yard line. But it looks like there's yellow on the field. Looks like they caught a peek at the hold from the wide receiver of the Riordan Crusaders, and it's probably going to be brought back, making that all to no avail.
Bagged down by Riordan.
Yeah, it was just a blatant hold on one of the Mitty corners. I mean, had both shoulder pads into it. Nothing you can do there if you're a defender other than put your hands in the air. Like, what am I going to do on that play?
Yeah.
As they busted right around him.
Flag down, holding against the Monarchs.
Oh, but they're going to call holding against the Monarchs.
Crusaders will accept the play.
And that's going to be declined by the Riordan Crusaders. So they deem it a clean play. And it looks like someone's injured on the sideline for the Crusaders at about the 35-yard line. So we'll come back to you
As a
after this injury.
42-yard gain. When play resumes, it'll be first and 10. That is number 6, Aiden Jackson, being assistant for the Crusaders.
So Jackson, the injured player for the Crusaders, gets up on his own. Good to see. And the Crusaders are going to continue with the ball on the Monarch 27-yard line. Best field position they've had all day. Really the only scoring chance they've had up to this moment.
They've already got, a decent amount of ground to make up, so they definitely need to take advantage of this good spot they have right now.
And again, it's quick, short passes, but that one was the first one that worked. Expect them to stick with something, quick and easy against this Monarch defense. Give Ledbetter some comfortable throws. It's going to be a fake pitch, and they're going to throw it to Faison Ruth, who is wide open, and he will, he gets absolutely leveled at the 1 yard line, and they're going to call it a touchdown. I don't know if I agree with that call. It looks like he was down. Another huge hit from Curtis Alvis. Just laying the wood on Faison Ruth.
He did knock down the pylon, though.
27-yard
So
touchdown.
another easy, simple pass, but it works this time for the Crusaders as they get Faison Ruth on a wheel route for a touchdown. Something maybe the Monarchs defense wasn't expecting. You know, Faison Ruth, a glorified runner, but he is out as a receiving threat that time, not have a defender on him, and he scores. And there's yellow flags on the field again.
The kick is good.
Seems to be a theme of the half.
Yeah.
As it looks like it's going to be a penalty on the Monarchs, and it's going to be declined by the Crusaders. And the extra point is going to be good. So that makes it 10-7, making this a game. You know, we started off 2 quick scoring drives for the Monarchs, and, you know, they went quiet on offense. Maybe figured it out a little bit. A lot of bend, don't break defense for the Crusaders. And now they're right back in this thing, only down 10-7.
Yeah, like I said at the game, the Monarchs, if they want to win, they got to keep going and don't look back. So hopefully they don't let this bring them down.
Especially since the Crusaders will start with the ball at the second half. It was a personal foul on the Monarchs.
The kick stands as a good PAT for Max Meadows. The penalty was a personal foul against Archbishop Mitty. This will be assessed on the kick.
So yeah, the personal foul, it wasn't declined, it was only assessed to the kickoff. And Coach Sione is not happy about that call. He is in the ref's face about it. So Salam's got his helmet on, he's walking around on his own weight. Is this the drive you think we see him come back in? Or maybe they wait a little bit, let him go through half, and come back at the start of the second half. He's walking down with the offense like he's going back in,
Yeah,
talking to Shamir Bey.
At this point in time, I would definitely say at least wait
4:26
until the second half.
to go.
But if they find themselves in a spot where they have a very good chance and they need him, I mean,
Crusaders 7.
You saw once he went out, the Monarchs defense stalled. He is a great pass blocker, and he creates humongous holes in the run game. So they kind of need him on the field.
Max Meadows to kick off.
The Crusaders will be kicking off on the Monarchs' 45-yard line. It'll be interesting to see whether they try and just kick it out straight out of the back of the end zone, hit the goalpost, or run for a little squib here and see if they can catch the Monarchs off guard, pin them deep in their own territory. They do kick a little squib, and Ian Collier is going to let it dribble into the end zone,
And that is a touchback.
and it'll be the Monarchs' ball at about the 20-yard line.
Monarchs begin their next possession, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So interesting to note, Raymello Murphy is on the trainer's table right now. Looks like they're working out his left leg, whether it's a cramp or an injury, we're not sure. But he is not going to be out for the Monarchs on these plays.
that could be a big blow because he's just a vital piece for the team.
He's the most explosive playmaker on this Monarchs team.
And David Salam is coming back out.
So, I mean, you get Salam back and somehow you lose your best player in Raymello Murphy. You know, not a trade I'm sure many Monarchs would like to have the choice to make. I think they want both of them out there. So it looks like it may be cramps for Raymello Murphy, but the handoff is going to go to Tamakura, and he's going to bust it. Oh, and he's going to stay on his feet to about the 30-yard line. He's not the biggest of guys, but he's a bowling ball when it comes to taking on linebackers and corners. He runs people over, and he will not go down without a fight.
Just short of the first down. So it'll be second and about 1.
Gain of 9. Second down and 1.
Raymello Murphy sitting back up now, working with the trainer. Look at he's got a little tightness. Handoff again to Tamakura, and he gets a good tackle by the Crusaders defense, but that'll be a first down to the
Tamakura, the ball carrier,
Monarchs' 37-yard line.
picks up a first down with a 13-yard burst down to the 42.
So a lot of running the ball for the Mitty offense. We had talked about how they were probably going to try and air the ball out, as that's where the Riordan gets gashed most often. And Shamir Bey pulls it here on the run. Doesn't have anyone open. He throws it, a sliding. Oh no, they're going to say it's an interception. Wow, that was a terrible throw from Shamir Bey if it goes where I thought it did. On the complete opposite side of the field from where we are, but he was throwing to nobody. If that got intercepted by who I thought it was, that was an awful throw and just a terrible decision with only 3 minutes to go in the second half. Second quarter, pardon me.
Yeah, like you said earlier,
Down
Riordan
the
will start with the ball.
Archbishop
in the second
Mitty,
half.
44. Crusaders take over first and 10 with 3:24 in the half.
So out comes the Crusader offense again, looking to go up for the first time in this game. You know, we thought they were out of it as their offense couldn't get anything going.
It's all coming together now.
But, you know, just when we thought they were done, here they come again. The handoff goes to Ruth, and he's going to have a little bit of space. He's going to bust it to the outside. He gets a great block from his receiver, and he's going to be out at about the 30-yard line. Curtis Alvis and the Monarchs looking for a block in the back. They wanted on number 5, the junior Marangi, but he put his hands up. What did I do? So nothing called from the refs, didn't happen. So they're going to have the ball on the 30-yard line, and looks like Sione is going to call a timeout right here. The Monarchs look a little dazed and confused. They get punched in the mouth. They don't really know how to respond.
Archbishop Mitty is the Monarchs' first time out of the half. They have 2 remaining.
So in their one loss to Marin Catholic this year, that's kind of what happened to them. You know, they got punched in the mouth and they didn't know what to do. They tried to make some boneheaded plays, tried to go for it all on one play, and you know they got burned and they lost by a lot in that game. And since then they haven't been challenged as much. They swiftly demolished Oakland, and last week against Bell, you know, they weren't really contested very much. But you know, this week starting to look a little bit different with Riordan. So we'll see what they do here.
Riordan's football team historically hasn't been great, but this year they're certainly making still got a lot of work to do, but they're improving.
You know, all it takes for a running offense is a big offensive line and a star running back, and that is what the Riordan Crusaders have, especially with those two 295-pound brothers. You know, you can put him at tight end, you can put him at fullback, you can even put him as extra offensive tackle, and they're going to pave a way for Faison Ruth.
Both teams are 2 timeouts remaining. First and 10 at the 30.
So Ledbetter's going to line up under center. And then he's going to hand off to the fullback again. SV2, and he's going to get about 5 yards to the Mitty 25-yard line. Monarchs are trying to say it was a fumble. They come out with the ball at the bottom of the pile, but the refs are going to say he was down. Looks like a little bit of bad blood between these two teams. You know, they're taunting each other, pointing different ways. You know, I assume they don't like each other. You know, they're in the same conference, and normally you don't like the other teams in your conference because you're competing against them all the time. But this just seems to be a little bit different. There's some bad blood in the air between these two teams.
Yeah. This game's definitely been a lot more competitive than probably everyone expected.
Yeah, especially when the Monarchs jumped out to that 10-0 lead. This is not what we were looking for. Ledbetter with a fake snap count, hands off to Ruth. And he is going to run with the pile. And it looks like he's to be about a yard short of the line to gain. As a Crusader, after the play, gets thrown down. And he's running back to confront. That's number 11, Romello Murphy, who's back on the field. We just noticed at corner. And you can't make mistakes like that. That was 2 or 3 seconds after the play had already ended.
Yeah.
He just threw down Crusader offensive player. And flags flew immediately.
For the moment,
Yeah, that
the ball
just
is
shouldn't
inside the 22. Personal foul against the Monarchs.
Yeah, they're going to call a personal foul against the Monarchs. That'll move the
That
ball.
penalty will be added on to the end of the run.
It'll be added on to the end of the run, so even worse for the Monarchs. And the refs are going to keep walking. It looks like they're going to put it down around the 10, 11-yard line.
Half the distance to the end of the run to the
So, you know, in the blink of an eye, Monarchs go from winning 10-0, looking to dominate this game, to, you know, Riordan in their red zone, looking to go up.
Looks like Riordan can get a first down.
There are 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Offensive line goes down, puts the receiver in motion, hands off, goes to the fullback, and he's going to bowl his way forward for about 7 yards. You put a 295-pound guy in there, and you're able to move the D tackles just a little bit. You know, no one's stopping him, especially if he gets downhill. They put him 4 yards behind the quarterback, and he absolutely runs with a head of steam. Nothing Monarchs can really do about it. You got to have multiple guys on him to bring him down, especially with the semi-undersized Mitty defense, especially on the edge. And it's a power handoff to Ruth, and he's going to bust into the end zone, but there's a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. It's going to be a legal motion on the Riordan Crusaders. So that'll negate the touchdown and bring it back 5 yards. But, you know, even if it was a legal motion, they absolutely paved the way for Ruth there, moving Mitty defenders off their spot, and Ruth, you know, slid right into the end zone. No one touching him. Penalty and move the ball back to the 10, and the Crusaders will still have 2nd and goal with 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the half. If you're the Monarchs, you have to hold them to a field goal right here.
Yeah.
You cannot allow a touchdown and allow them to touch the ball first in the second half.
Yeah, that's just a recipe for disaster.
So they put another receiver in motion. Seems like they do that a lot. A little confusion. Ledbetter's going to have it, and he's going to be brought down behind the line at the 20-yard line.
And that's 52, Jacques Allard with the sack right there.
He's been having a very underrated season. Dominated a game against Palma, and he disappeared a little bit in their next 2 games, but here he is, making a huge sack for 9 yards. And just like that, the Riordan went from a touchdown negated to losing 9 yards, and they're back at their own 19, just like that.
Looks like that's Allard's first sack of the year.
He's not as much of a pass rusher as more of a run stopper. He does a great job on tackles for loss. Got a couple 4th down stops this year. First time they've lined up without a fullback in a while. Ruth about 5 yards. It's going to be a pitch to him. Fakes the reverse. And he is going to be taken down by Davis Salam. Short of the original line of scrimmage at about the 14-yard line. It looks like the Crusaders are going to have to settle for a field goal. Well, they seem to be stalling, keeping the offense out of the field. Are they thinking about going for this?
Timeout.
They're going to call timeout to talk it over. We'll be back when they come out onto the field.
That last play for Ruth was a 5-yard carry to the 14. When play resumes, it'll be 4th down and a long 13.
So the Crusaders will send the kicking team onto the field, looking to tie it up at 10-10.
About 31 yards.
So the Monarchs get lucked. There's lucked out with the penalty right there, and now forcing the Crusaders to have to settle for field goal. And Coach Sione is going to have to call a timeout right here, maybe ice the kicker a little bit.
Archbishop Mitty.
Looks like the Monarchs got a couple of alumni on the sideline. You know, it's great to see them come back and support their former team. Not quite sure who it is yet, but someone's wearing a USC sweatshirt. Looks like Sean Mahoney on the sideline.
It looks like it'll be Max Meadows of Riordan for the, looks like about 36.
Yeah, it'll be about a 36-yard field goal. So the Monarchs take on the Serra Padres next week, and just like the Monarchs did last Friday, the Padres are dominating the Bellarmine Bells, up 29-0 with 4 minutes left to go in the first half.
As we said, Mitty is tied with Serra for first place. So it looks like Serra is most likely going to come off the W, so Mitty's got to win tonight.
Yeah, you never really want to root for your rival. You never really want to root for your rival, but, you know, maybe taking out Sarah, you know, maybe that's what you want to see from the Bellarmine Bells right here.
And St. Francis leading Sacred Heart Cathedral 14-7 right now.
And the Crusaders bring the offense back onto the field, and it's going to be the third straight timeout.
Timeout.
Seems like we haven't had a snap in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Timeout will be on the Monarchs.
And the Sarah game has gone to half, and it is 32-0 Padres. Bellarmine Bells getting absolutely embarrassed by the Padres.
Yeah, rough 2 weeks for Bellarmine.
Rough. So I think this is a great move by the coaching staff of Riordan. You know, they send out the field goal team after a timeout. You know, making the Monarchs think they're going to go for a field goal. Then the Monarchs call a timeout, so they come out back with their offense, making the Mitty defense think even more about it. And so, you know, you think more about it, and we'll see what they do here. But if you keep mixing it up on them, eventually you're going to make them make a mistake. Also at the half has gone is Sacred Heart Cathedral against St. Francis. They are tied 14-14 at halftime.
Looks like the Crusaders will now go for it.
And it will be the offense on the field. Fourth and 13. And if this is another touchdown, I cannot believe it. Or sorry, another timeout. That is the fourth straight timeout. We haven't had a snap in 4 timeouts. Just an absolute chess match from these two coaches. I can't believe it. I've never seen this long go in between plays that's not halftime.
Well, you got 0.6 seconds left in the half, so you might as well use them up if that's going to help you. If Riordan's going to make a move, they got to do it right here, because I don't think you can fit 2 plays in 0.6 seconds.
This is a gutsy play. You know, they could kick the field goal right here and tie the game at halftime. Maybe they don't have enough confidence in their kicker, but you got to at least try it. As a running offense, are they expecting to get 15 yards here for a touchdown? And it's going to be a pass. They're going to throw a lob up to the end zone. And it's going to be caught for the touchdown. Wow. Curtis Alvis gets absolutely mossed by Morongi in the end zone. And the Crusaders are going to go up 13-10, 14-10, pending the extra point right here. You know, I got to give it to him. Gutsy move, but it paid off. They threw it up to their tall receiver. He goes up. He gets the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. And the Monarchs had full momentum in the first half, and the pendulum has completely swung. The extra point is good, and the first half is over. Both teams will head back to their locker room. Surprisingly, the Crusaders have the lead 14-10 at the half. We'll be back with the second half here on AMHS Live. Thank you for tuning in.
15 minutes plus 3-minute re-warm-up. 18-minute total halftime. Coming up, stick around. Lots of halftime activities for you. Well, the pit knows who's starting off our halftime show. I know who's starting off our halftime show. For the 5 or 6 of you that don't know, right now, headed out to the midfield for our first halftime performance. The best in the CCS, the Archbishop Mitty, the Royals.
So good! So good! I got you! So good! So good! I got you!
the Archbishop Mitty Royals. But wait, there's more. Performing tonight from the stands, live and loud, the Archbishop Mitty Pep Band under the direction of Irving Bajaj.
my God, it's so bad. They tried to call it about that bad. See what they
Couple of other West Catholic games going on tonight. One tomorrow. Tomorrow, up in the city, Valley Christian will take on St. Ignatius. Tonight, though, the other two games in the West Catholic are also at the half. Down in Mountain View in the Rage Cage, also known as Brother Fisher Field at Ron Calcano Stadium. They're at the half. It is Sacred Heart Cathedral 14, St. Francis 14. And down in San Jose, they're playing at San Jose City College at the half. It is the Serra Padres 32, Bellarmine nothing. Schedule update time. So if you keep your schedule on your phone and you want to know where you're going to be the next couple of weeks, here's the answers to that question. Next Friday night, the Monarchs will play at Serra at Freitas Field, 7 o'clock, up in San Mateo. 2 weeks from tonight, the Monarchs will travel up to Kezar Stadium in the city to take on Sacred Heart Cathedral, 7 o'clock, Friday the 18th. Our next home game is our Friday Night Lights game, 3 weeks from tonight. against St. Francis at Bachman Stadium and Father Jack Rusty Field 3 weeks from tonight, Friday the 25th, 7 o'clock against the Lancers. Make your plans to join us 3 weeks from tonight, and our last regular season game here at Foothill College, your Monarchs home away from home, is Friday, November 1st, 4 weeks from tonight. Senior night against St. Ignatius, right here at Foothill College Stadium, 7 o'clock. Monarchs will close the regular season at Valley Christian on November 8th. If you missed any of that, be sure you go to www.mitty.com and go under the athletics and football tabs, and all the schedule information is there as well at mitty.com. You can also follow and tweet at us when you're on Twitter. Our handles are at Mitty Football and at AMHS Athletics. Follow and tweet at the Monarchs when you're on Twitter. We are at Mitty Football. We are at AMHS Athletics. Speaking of schedules, your Archbishop Mitty
Second half,
volleyball
second
team
quarter, that was not the
is in
case.
the middle of a
They're just
five-game
firing the ball, and it's working very well
road
for
trip.
them. So the Monarchs kind of got to change their whole game
The
plan.
second and third games of that five-game
And
road
for
trip
Riordan, it's just
are
like,
this
keep it up.
Tuesday and Thursday, the 8th
I
and
agree.
10th.
What they were doing is working, obviously.
Especially if you keep the ball on the ground. If you're Riordan, that's where they're best, and also you run time off of the clock and give this Monarchs offense less time, and you'll tire out their defense. Who impressed you the most in the first quarter, whether that be from the Monarchs or Crusaders?
Oh, there's on Ruth for sure.
Whenever, yeah, I agree. Whenever you can get the ball in his hands, he's obviously their best player. He will make plays for you, and that's what he did in the first half. On the injury side, it does look like Ray Mello Murphy and Davis Salam are healthy enough to keep going. And they're stretching out right now, and they look perfectly fine, good to go.
And that's a very good thing, because if they want to have like any chance to get back in the game, it's with them on the field.
I agree. I also think the Monarchs need to stop committing so many penalties. You know, that's something that happened more in the second quarter that jump-started this Riordan offense, is the amount of penalties, and especially dumb penalties, like unnecessary penalties, like throwing down a player after the play's over, or holding someone on defense. That's unnecessary penalties,
Inexcusable.
especially on a screen. Just something that you can't do if you want to win a football game. So in the second half, I think you need to look out for that a little bit more and stop making those kind of penalties, and they'll be in this game again. So as we stated before, Riordan scored at the end of the first half, and they're going to get the ball to start right here. If they can score a touchdown here, the amount of momentum they will have over these Monarchs might be a little bit insurmountable if they can't get their offense going.
And Sacred Heart Cathedral and St. Francis are still tied at halftime in Mountain View.
Yeah, it's 14-14. That's a big game in the WCAL because St. Francis is a dangerous team, and if they can lose a game to a team they probably should beat in Sacred Heart Cathedral, that'll be crucial for the Monarchs.
Yeah, St. Francis, obviously they're very good last year, but they were senior heavy. So now this year they've lost like their core players. So the season isn't looking too great for them.
Yeah. Also, they played a really rough schedule so far, facing De La Salle, arguably the best team in our state, maybe even the country, and then Valley Christian last week. You know, maybe it's taken their toll. Maybe it's taken a toll on them. And now coming Sacred Heart Cathedral, it's a trap game, expecting a win, an easier win than the last 2 games. But, you know, we'll see. If Sacred Heart Cathedral can pull that one out, it'll be huge.
Yeah, and Mitty will face St. Francis Cathedral on night football in a few weeks. So Mitty's got to hope that St. Francis' struggles will continue.
So, Wydick, his third kickoff of the day. And here it comes. He's going to boot it. A great kick, end over end. Oh, they lose sight of it. It's fumbled at like the 5-yard line. They pick it back up, and they're going to run it out to about the 20.
It looks like it's lateral channel with the return. So we'll start off at Riordan's. Looks like it's about
Number 7, Laprel Trammell on the return.
Looks like they're going to spot it about the 19, maybe the 20. It's hard to tell completely on the other side of the field from the booth we're at.
Yeah.
God, I really have it out for this big speaker in our way. They couldn't have put that in a worse spot, don't you think?
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Put it right in the field to play. Someone's got to call up the people at Foothill College.
Yeah.
So, Riordan up by 4. If they can score a touchdown, maybe puts the game out of reach for the Monarchs. What do you think?
I mean, if the Monarchs allow another touchdown to happen, I think it's a good
13-yard
sign that
return to the 19.
Mitty's
First
probably
and
done
10.
for the night because they've made too many mistakes, in my opinion. So we'll see if Riordan will continue.
Yeah, I
Based on
agree
who
with
they
you.
go down.
But there's a lot of game left. If the Monarchs make plays like that one, another tackle for loss in the run game, you know, I think they're still in it.
Yeah, if they can keep that up, they're definitely in the game.
It's obvious Coach Sione realized what happened in the second quarter. They were getting gashed on the edges on run plays. Maybe make their ends a little less aggressive, getting after the quarterback, concealing and like stopping the run, and they'll be back in this game.
Yeah, I can only imagine how explosive his talk was in the locker room at halftime.
Yeah, anytime you blow a lead, that seems like just a visual cue that the coach has got to have it out for his team in the locker room. Oh, the handoff goes to the receiver in motion, and he's going to have a lot of room. Busted out at about the 37-yard line.
That's Aiden Jackson with the long run for a Riordan first down.
He's up to the 40.
And, you know, keying in on Faison Ruth allows that to happen right there. They've put a receiver in motion so many plays over this game, and now they hand it to him, and he's gone. Off to the races.
Yeah. Riordan knows that they got their eyes on Faison Ruth, so that gives them the opportunity. Hand off to someone else. So Mitty's got to have their eyes on everyone, really.
Big fullback in the game again, along with Faison Ruth in the backfield. Same receiver in motion. Handoff goes to Kifu.
Oh, possible turnover to Mitty.
Monarchs thinks they have the ball.
That would be huge if it is their ball.
Completely negate the momentum that Riordan got by starting with the ball in the second half. We'll see what the referees call right here, but the Monarchs seem convinced it is their ball. And the pit has brought out the turnover chain. From what I've heard, is made by Cole Walker, junior student government member, a tablet with fake diamonds on it. We'll just say it's real diamonds for now. Make it seem a little cooler. With a hanging down from a chain. You know, something you normally see.
It is Mitty's ball. Huge break right there. Mitty has to cash in. They cannot pass this one up right here. They got to get back in the game right
That's
now.
a great job by the Mitty defense. Don't know who that was forced by. It looks like a lot of the guys are rallying around number 10, Jacob Miller, who also had a great tackle for loss earlier in this
Miller
game.
having a very good
He's having a very good game. So they're going to credit the fumble as a group team fumble, something you know, if it's at the bottom of a pile, without replay review, it's really hard to tell. But, you know, they're going to give it to the group. It was recovered by number 55.
Turnover chain has worked its magic once again tonight.
Well, they brought it out last week against Bellarmine.
And that worked.
Then, well, the next play, Shamir Bey threw an interception. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully not that. Bey runs it, and oh my God, I just jinxed the entire team. Hopefully he was down. But maybe the turnover chain's got to go away because that was a close call again this week.
Works both ways, apparently.
Maybe the Monarchs thought, you know, we have a really cool turnover chain. Maybe they want to see it too.
Only bring it out when you need the turnover.
So the refs are conferring with each other. Yeah, a Mitty turnover right here may have been the worst possible thing they could have done. You know, you get the momentum shift, forcing the fumble on the Crusaders. And just like that, ball's gone again. It also looks like there's a flag on the play. So we'll see what they say right here.
He's really hoping the refs will point to their right.
Really long conversation. Both teams look confused. Monarchs think it's theirs, and that's what the refs are going to say. It's still a Monarch ball. Shamir Bey was ruled down.
There was also a penalty on the play, a face mask against.
They're going to call a face mask, so that would have negated the fumble anyway. So Monarchs catch a break. They're going to keep the ball in their hands. But like we said, Shamir Bey being a little bit, you know, dangerous with the ball.
Certainly glad that it wasn't a turnover, but that was a little too close. Don't want to let that happen again.
So close call, but the Monarchs keep the ball. They're going to line up 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen with Tabankura in the backfield. Tabankura gets the handoff, and he cuts it upfield, sidesteps a tackle, and he should be brought down at about the 8-yard line. I'll tell you, he is fast. Once he sees that first hole, just zooms through it.
Yeah, like I said, Mitty's got to take advantage of when they got that turnover right there. And so far, looks like it's working out.
So Tabankura, after a long run, gets called to the sidelines. Zach Webb, fullback / middle linebacker, gets called into the game.
Dash and cut back to the 8. First and goal.
Looks like they're going to line him up at receiver for this play, and Shamir Bey is going to go empty. Someone who's been really quiet today is Ray Mello Murphy. Maybe the Crusaders' defense is locking in on him. See if he can find a spot in the end zone right here. They're going to run a receiver thing to the outside, and he's going to get cut back, and Shamir Bey is not going to block. And gets taken down at the 15, something that just cannot happen.
It's just going to be a loss of about 7 or so yards.
Something that Ray Mello Murphy does a lot is he knows he's good, he knows he's explosive, but sometimes he's a little too explosive and tries to cut back plays maybe he shouldn't cut back. And especially right there, he got extremely mad at his player who didn't get a block, something we've seen countless times this season. Whether that's just him being passionate about the game or actually angry at his teammates for not getting a block or throwing a pick, you know, but that's something he's got to fix up, get his mental state right.
Yeah, now's not the time to lash out at your teammates.
Bey back to pass.
Incomplete.
And here's Ray Mello Murphy again. Takes out the mouth guard, you know, shakes his head. He knows he was open. Bey missed him by a little bit. But, you know, that's football. It's going to happen. You can't be perfect every time, and you can't expect your teammates to be perfect every time.
So now it's 3rd and about
16 yards.
16.
So Monarchs had a chance on this drive, and, you know, they even a field goal right here still be in deficit. So maybe a first down right here is necessary.
Well, first down would be a touchdown.
Handoff to Tabankura. There's a flag on the play. It's deep on the field, away from the offensive line. Maybe a holding on a Monarch receiver. But, you know, they
Tyler
just,
Kerr, the ball carrier.
again, lose their momentum very quickly. And once they get hit with a little bit
There's
of
also
adversity,
a flag on the play.
they just can't seem to get it going again.
Holding against Archbishop Mitty.
It is holding against
The Crusaders have accepted the penalty.
So not only does that set them back offensively, but this also makes it a harder field goal if they have to settle for Gunnar Whiting.
Gotta get
Crusaders have changed
as far as
to
they can.
declining the penalty.
Oh, now they have declined the penalty, which will make it a 4th down.
Last play, gained a
Monarch
couple
fans wanted to go
yards
for it,
the
but that's
14.
not a smart decision.
4th
They're
down
going to
and
send the
goal.
field goal unit out. In comes Gunnar Whiting for his 2nd field goal attempt of the day.
It's the right decision, but it's certainly got to be a hard compromise to make, because even if they get this field goal, they're still down.
Looks like a little bit of disagreement
Oh.
on the Oh, it's a fake. And
Oh!
it's a touchdown. That's number 10, Jacob
Jacob
Miller.
Miller.
What a great
Wow.
game he's had.
Touchdown, Monarchs.
May not have seemed like it, but they went for it.
That's huge.
Mitty up
Number
16 to 14 right now.
Look, I've been at Mitty for 3 years. You've been here for 4 years. When is the last time you've seen us fake special teams?
Actually, and it actually works out.
I've
That's got to be the first time I've seen that in person anywhere. I don't think I've even seen that on TV in the NFL or college before.
Yeah, fake field goals are a lot more rare, especially nowadays, with the kickers having stronger legs. And just like that,
It's good.
Monarchs are up 17 to 14.
And Gunnar Whiting's extra point try is good.
Wow, you did not see that coming.
8:09 in the third. Monarchs regain
Jacob
the
Miller
lead.
snuck out,
Archbishop Mitty
got open,
17.
a little jump pass from the holder.
14.
And, you know, that was Reese Burton, his first touchdown pass of the season. Backup quarterback, maybe not as how he expected to get his first touchdown of the season. But, you know, touchdown's touchdown.
Touchdown, yeah, exactly.
So, the Monarchs go up 17 to 14, and we will come back after this break.
So that was something.
Definitely unexpected, but, you know, gives the Monarchs the momentum they need. They capitalize off the turnover, something we didn't think they were going to do. And, you know, Whiting's going to kick off with the lead again, just like it's the first quarter.
That's got to be crushing for Riordan.
Yeah, I've never played football like this, but I've got to imagine you're playing defense, you think you have a stop, you think you've kept the lead for your team, and suddenly, out of nowhere, they run a fake field goal, pop pass it over your head for a touchdown. You've just got to be sitting there with your jaw dropped.
And it looks like Miller was wide open, too.
No one guarded
no
him.
coverage on him.
Some of the Monarchs haven't run this year, not in the film, not something to expect. Probably not something they practice very often, but, you know, it worked out this time, and it got the Monarchs the lead. So the Riordan offense comes back, chasing 3 points now for the first time since the first quarter. Quick pitch. Oh, and that's going to be stuffed again. Monarchs doing a better job this half stopping the run than they did in the second quarter.
Yeah, there's that one boom moment of the game. The
Plays on
Monarchs
move the
need.
ball carrier.
Hopefully they don't let that die out.
So it was about a gain of 2 yards at the most. And good stop by the Monarchs, and it'll be second down and
Out
about
to the
7 or 8 for the
23-yard
Crusaders.
line, gain of 2. Second down and 8.
Other than that one pass for the touchdown, I'm not sure Ledbetter has thrown a pass that actually has legitimate air under it. A quick out route there. Enough, looks like, for the first down, maybe a little bit short. We'll see where they spot him.
Ledbetter's pass complete to
But I mean,
Ranky.
other than that pass and the touchdown, not a whole lot going for the passing offense. Looks like they're going to mark him a little bit short. A yard to go. And if there's any team in the WCAL, I would say put my money on to run for 1 yard on a play they needed it would probably be Riordan.
Yeah.
You know, you have legitimately 3 options here. You can hand it to the fullback. You can hand it to the running back like you're going to do here, and he's going to bust it. He's got outside, and he is tripped up by Alvis again. What a great tackling performance he has put on today, saving yet another touchdown. But like I was saying, you can hand it off to the fullback. You can hand it off to the running back. Ledbetter can scramble. You can throw a screen. They have so many options in their offensive scheme.
To the 43-yard line.
But it's going to be a first down from the 43 of Riordan. Another underrated thing about this offense is how tiring it can be on the defense. Running so many plays, getting pounded by the offensive line over and over again, they're going to have to sub out a lot. And Ruth bounces it to the outside on a run. He's going to get the ball to about the 50. And that looks like it should be a late hit on number 75. They're not going to call anything, and there's a Crusader down on the field.
Oh, boy.
That's Martin, the senior, laying out one of the Mitty defenders as the play seemed to be over.
He is marked down at the 49. That's a gain of 6.
But we'll step away during this injury timeout.
All right, so update of the St. Francis game. Sarah is leading 34-0 as if that's a surprise.
Yeah, over Bellarmine. And St. Francis made it 21-14 over Sacred Heart Cathedral. The Monarchs stop a little bit short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down. But, you know, those 2 games chugging along. St. Francis taking the lead like we expected they would. And Sarah beating the snot out of Bellarmine.
He's out to the Monarch 48.
A short 3rd and 1, maybe a little bit longer than 1. 4th Crusaders here. Bring out 2 receivers and a strong offensive line package with 2 in the backfield. It'll be a quarterback sneak by Ledbetter, and he is going to get the first down. Something we've seen a lot more today is Ray Mello Murphy playing a lot more corner than we have in previous games. I believe that's probably because he is one of the stronger corners. He's a monster in the gym. He's huge, and he could probably get better getting past block shedding the wide receivers, being able to stop the run. But also, if they're passing, he's very fast, so he can get back on a deep throw.
Yeah,
So
he's incredibly fast.
I think it's a smart move.
And it's also impressive what he's doing without James Thomas. They're another very good wide receiver of theirs.
Agreed. Ledbetter's going to scramble, and he runs straight through a block, gaining about 5-6 yards on the play.
Ledbetter on the option.
We've seen a lot of option plays today from the Crusaders. How do you think they've been effective so far?
I mean,
Picked up 5 more yards.
it seemed to have been working. You know, first half got the lead, but now might not be working as well. I mean, they're making coverage, but they're making it up ground, but not quite enough. But we just have to see how this will continue to play out if they can get the first down right here.
Another receiver in motion. Hands off to Roof up the middle.
Will be a first down.
Yeah, he explodes through the hole to about the 29-yard line. And just like that, they're threatening again.
Tackle by Chow.
We could see this turn into a high-scoring affair. Teams going back and forth with each other. Defense is getting tired, offensive gaining momentum. We could have a 50-point game on our hands. Probably not that far, but
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. Entertaining games.
Yeah. I think everyone's expecting a Mitty win, maybe a little resistance from Riordan. This has been full-out competitive. Like, I have no idea who's going to end up winning this one.
Raymello Murphy stuffs him behind the line on a wide receiver quick to the outside. A little chitter-chatter going on between those two, as it has been all game. But, Raymello Murphy got the best of him right there.
Two-yard tackle for loss to the 31. Second and 12.
So the Crusaders will have the ball at the 31-yard line. Loss of 1 on the last play. Second down. They bring 2 into the backfield. Offset receiver at the top of your screen. It will be a pass, a little bit of a miscommunication between Ledbetter and his receiver right there.
Ledbetter's pass into
3rd and 11.
Yeah, that's Charlton. He miscommunication, mixed up his route, ran a little bit deeper than Ledbetter threw it, but something you really can't have. You go through practice, you should have that down. So Ledbetter gets the play from his coach. He's going to bring it to the huddle. It's 3rd and about 11 from the 31 on the Mitty side. Sideline getting into it here. Try and make it a little loud. They're right in the midst of this cheering section. It's going to be reverse. Ledbetter's the lead blocker. Gets a huge crackback block, but ultimately going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Looks like Aiden Robin knocked him down.
They run a lot of misdirection, and that's probably the biggest misdirection we've seen so far. But the Monarchs got back on it as they reversed it, and were able to stop him.
So now it'll be 4th and about 15.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. Are they going to punt or are they going to go? And it looks like they might be going for it right here. Last time they were in this situation, they chucked it up. They got a catch from Mongi in the end zone. We'll see if they do something here. So they run Mongi onto Raymello Murphy's side. It looks like they're going to double him. Crowd's getting loud now, trying to stir up, and they're going to launch it deep, and he's got him, and that's terrible coverage. That's Curtis Alvis again, gets burnt. He's been great in run support, but again, gets burnt in pass coverage. What'd you see there from him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of coverage right there. So, Riordan's making a statement right now. They gave up that lead earlier, but I think they're ready to take it right back.
Again, Coach Sione's defense gets on the field, they get stops, they force 4th down, but they just can't seem to finish the defensive possession.
1st and 10.
And we're going to have a timeout on the field. Looks like it's going to be Riordan.
Timeout, Archbishop.
And we'll be back. Riordan at the 6-yard line when we return. So the Crusaders trot back out on offense.
Following the timeout, first and goal.
They're going to have the ball first and goal at about the Mitty 6-yard line. They got 3 backs. They hand it off to the fullback, pounding up the middle, and he's going to sneak in to the end zone for a touchdown, giving the Crusaders the lead back again.
20 to 17.
It's going to be 20 to 17. Extra point pending. It looked like the Monarchs had him wrapped up at about the 3. His offensive lineman and his kept backing him up, and his legs kept churning. And if you're 300 pounds, you're tough to bring down. And he just got right into that end zone, plowing through Mitty defense.
Yeah. Let's see if
So the snap is high, but the hold is good, and the kick is good. So the lead is now 21 to 17 for the Crusaders. Monarchs coming back onto the field, hoping to stop them. We will be back on AMHS Live.
46 in the third. 21-17, Crusaders regain the lead.
So another kickoff. Monarchs will be getting the ball back, hoping to avenge this lead that they had. Another squib kick.
Derek
They're going to
Chow.
bring it around. A great block. And, you know, only going to amount to about 8 yards more than they would have gotten.
Derek Chow on the return.
Crusaders getting in his face on the sideline. While we were away, the Lancers of St. Francis took the lead 21 to 14, adding on to their lead.
3-yard return to the 27.
So what do the Monarchs need to do on this drive, you think,
First
Doug?
down and 10.
Score as much as they can, because they keep getting the lead, and it seems like every time they get the lead, they just let it get away. So they gotta, obviously get the lead back, and just the defense has to. They've been doing good at first, but they haven't been able to finish the job.
So the great block I talked about resulted in an injury on Philip Krangdang. He was brought over to the sideline, helped by one of his teammates. Looks like maybe a rib injury, whether he had the wind knocked out of him, we don't know. But he's a crucial piece to this offense. Right now he's the backup running back. It would suck to have him out for this game because then Tabankura's got to be in on every play. We'll see how he's doing. Run for about 5 yards on first down from Tabankura. Pretty good. But Monarchs need to score and score quickly because they can't let Riordan stop them and have all the momentum in this game.
Yeah. It seems like the momentum's been shifting between the two teams. So whoever wants to win, they got to keep that momentum and claim it as theirs and not give it up.
Bay's going to pass inside to Ramella Murphy. Does a great job holding onto the ball with 2 defenders wrapped around him. Monarchs will have the ball at about the 47-yard line. First strike to Ramella Murphy we've seen in a while. Good to see him getting involved in the offense again.
47. That is a gain of 13.
Bay lines up with a running back to his right. It's going to be a pass. Outside to Connor Gamblin. Tries to juke back inside, and he's down at about the 43-yard line.
Number 7, Connor Gamblin.
Something no one's going to talk about right there is the blocking job from Zach Tabankura. What'd you see there?
Yeah, really good.
It looks like he's a little shaken up on that one.
Gain of 9.
He got a great block
Second
on the
down,
rushing
short.
linebacker,
Just outside
and he's going to be out for this play.
43.
That's paving the way for Moscow to come in. Right now, with Karangdang out, he looks like the backup running back. Handoff's going to go to him. Oh, nope. Bay's going to keep it, and he's going to be taken down right at about the line of scrimmage.
Looks like good enough for first down.
Bay on the self
Let's see where they spot him, and they're going to give him a first down. The chains will move. So a little bit of a generous spot there. I thought he was a little bit short of the line to gain, but they're going to give it to him.
to the 41.
Monarchs get an extra set of downs.
First and
Offense is
10.
going to be brought over to the sideline to think about the next play. So with the ball at the 41-yard line,
And
what do you
then
see the Monarchs doing right here?
After
At
three, here at Foothill
into the
College
fourth
Stadium,
quarter now,
home away
how do you
ball.
think the Monarchs are going to score?
Pittsburgh 21,
Right now, I feel like they
Monarchs
probably
17.
need to run the ball, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, seems like they. I mean, I agree with you. They got to run the ball and obviously get the touchdown out. I know it seems simple, but like you got to do what you got to do because I believe they're down by 4.
Yeah, I don't know if they can
So-
afford to settle for a field goal.
Yeah, even that's not going to be enough.
Especially with the way the Crusaders have been running the ball. You know, they'll be able to run down the clock, dominate the Monarchs on the ground, make them tired, and overall take the lead, keep it. So the Monarch offense will head back out onto the field. It'll be a 1st and 10 from there, the other side, 41. Tamakura is back in at running back
We go to
with
the
Shamir
4.
Bay,
The Monarchs have first
Ray
and
Mello
10.
Murphy, Ian Collier,
Crusader 41.
Hunter Lucas, and Connor Gamlin, as we've seen for most of the day. Run goes inside to Tamakura. He gets great blocking.
First
He's
down.
down at the 30.
Tamakura,
Something that's
the
not talked about a whole lot, but this game will be won in the trenches. Both offensive lines are doing a great job paving the way for their running backs. There haven't been a whole lot of tackles for loss, especially for Riordan. And it's going to be a first down here. But, you know, they've been pounding the rock and paving lanes for Tamakura.
Yeah, this one's definitely looking like to be a nail biter.
A deep pass. It's going to be for Ramel Murphy. It's short, and he goes up and gets it. Did he get the ball over the pond? Yes,
It
he
is a
did. That's a
touchdown.
touchdown. Ramello Murphy picks up his mouth guard. What a great play by Ramello Murphy. An underthrown pass from Shamir Bay. He was able to reposition, nab the ball out of the air, and put it in the end zone, and he is fired up.
Now, hopefully this time the Monarchs can keep this lead because we're in the 4th quarter. Not a lot of time left, so if they give up this lead again, it's going to be even harder to make up for it.
Bay looked to be hurried a little bit on that play from the pass rush, you know, but he unloaded it a little bit short, but Ramello Murphy was able to make a great play on the ball. And Whiting puts the extra point through, and the Monarchs, just like that, are back up by 3. So the Monarchs lead 24-21, and we'll be back after this break. So fresh off a score from Raymond Murphy, Gunnar Wydick will kick off again. What do the Monarchs need to do on this defensive possession, especially in the trenches, stopping the running game?
like I said before, finish the job because it seems like they haven't quite been able to do that because they let Riordan slip by.
And Gunner puts his foot to the ball, and it'll be a little bit short of the end zone. It looks like it'll be returnable. Monarchs get down pretty quickly. Good blocking sets up, and the ball will be brought out to about the 23-yard line before the returner is brought down by number 50 on the Monarchs.
Aiden Jackson on the return. "20-yard return to the 24. First and 10.
So the Monarchs cheering section getting back into it with this lead right in front of this Crusaders offense. They got to go the length of the field, about 77 yards to score. And it looks like they're just going to keep doing the same thing. Pitch goes to Faison Ruth. Flag on the play in the offensive backfield. I would expect a holding call on the Crusaders right here.
There is a flag on the play. Tackled by Fox and Chow. Holding against the
So it is holding. That'll really set them back. You know, penalties like that are really killing the game, especially both offenses. So they'll walk it back to 10 yards from the holding. It looks like they'll have the ball at about the 9-ish yard line right now, and that makes it easily harder for them to go down the field. And great for the Monarchs because the part of the field they're on right now, prime position to get a safety, maybe force them to pass the ball.
Yeah.
Running the ball 91 yards down the field is difficult.
Literally a lot of wiggle room.
It's a screen. Ruth sheds a tackle, and he's going to get taken down from behind.
Looks like a gain of about 3 or 4.
So they called holding on the Crusaders, but they had the ball at the 24-yard line. I'm interested to know why it got moved all the way back to the 9-yard line, because I don't think holding is a 15-yard penalty. Must have been something else mixed in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not too sure. All right, so at the end of the third quarter, St. Francis is leading Sacred Heart Cathedral 28-14. So there's your update from Mountain View.
Handoff again goes to Ruth. He's got a lot of running to the outside. He's going to be taken down at about the 27-yard line on 2nd and 20. Setting up a manageable third down. You think they go run or pass here?
That's a good question. I'm just going to go with run. That's just what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, they've been a little scared to throw the ball, especially with Ledbetter. But he hasn't had as many incompletions as he had in previous weeks. He's been playing a better game without a turnover so far. We'll see what they do here. See if they stick with Ruth. I would say even if they don't get it, they probably go for it on 4th down. They seem to get it every time. Ledbetter's going to scramble, and he's going to go down at about the 30-yard line, 4 yards short of the line to gain. Now, I know they're on their own 30-yard line, and with 9 minutes to go, did you even think about going for it on 4th down with the success you've had?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a big risk, but that's one that I would recommend taking. Because it's like you gotta stay on offense.
I agree.
And even if you don't get it, it's probably not going to.
It looks like they disagree with you. They're going to punt, give the ball back to Shamir Bey, and see if he can run down this clock for the Monarchs. It's a good snap. It's a booming kick. Romulo Murphy's got to backpedal for it. He's going to pick it up off the bounce. He's going to return it. He's going to run it back again. Last time he did this, he lost yards. He's got a lot of room, and his blocking falls through. He breaks a tackle, and he is past the 50 to about the 45-yard line. What a return.
Yeah, Ramel Murphy, stellar returns tonight. It seems like he's had several where he's ended up in Riordan's side of the field after a punt.
29-yard return.
The last time he did something like that was in the red zone, but he took the wide receiver quick and busted it back around and lost 5 yards. This time I was expecting that to happen again, but he got a great block on a crackback block, and he was able to bust it for about 30 more yards than maybe we expected. A couple Monarchs banged up on the play. In the trenches, they're gonna get hurt a little bit, but nothing too bad.
All right, so Sarah has officially defeated Bellarmine 37-0. Wow. I mean, we know Bellarmine's had their struggles this season, but
You'd think they'd at least put up a fight, right?
yeah,
Especially like their storied program, and they can't even compete anymore. So it's interesting to see.
Been a rough last couple seasons for Bell. So pending the result of this game, Sarah's temporarily alone in first place. If Mitty can win, they will move into a tie once again for first place.
So yeah, there goes a screen pass to Ray Mello Murphy. He's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. You get the ball in the hands of your playmaker who's had 2 stellar plays in a row. You see what happens. Obviously, you lose yards there, but I love the play call.
2nd down and 12.
See if they go to him again right here. So Ray tries to get him with a fake snap count. He'll look back to the line of scrimmage, get the play. They line up quickly. He takes the handoff. They go outside to Murphy again. It's a little low. He's got to catch it and fall to the ground to about the 38-yard line for the Crusaders, setting up a medium-length 3rd down.
That is a gain of 6. 3rd down and 6.
So surprisingly to me, the Monarchs have come out on this drive and thrown the ball 2 straight times. You'd think they'd be trying to run out the clock.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
But I definitely don't blame them because, you kind of want to tack on to your lead, get some insurance.
They've stacked 3 receivers to the left. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a run, but they're going to pass. A lot of pressure. Shamir Bay's got to get rid of the ball. He finds over the end zone. Over the middle of the field. That's Ian Collier for a 1st down. Great scrambling play by Shamir Bay right there.
Yeah, it was kind of a, knee-jerk reaction, but it worked, thankfully. But I was going to say before, yeah, they definitely need those insurance points because they only lead by, a possession right now. They want to get that up so Riordan can't come back with, in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like, you make it a little bit more comfortable on yourself. You can get some more points here. You don't want this to go down to the end against a team in your home place. And Collier gets the handoff, and he is immediately brought down after a gain of about 2 yards. Combined tackle.
Collier on the receiver handoff. Got to about the 32 and a half. 2nd down and a long 9.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Monarchs. Shamir Bay stays in with Zach Tabancura, Ray Mello Murphy, Hunter Lucas, Ian Collier, and Connor Gamblin. Seems like they've stuck with that receiving core throughout the day, even if some of them haven't made the best of plays. A delayed handoff to Tabancura, and it gets absolutely blown up by the Riordan defense. That's Kifu, the senior, just shooting through the gap to stop the run right in his tracks.
On the ball carry. Tackle for loss back to the 40.
Yeah, so it'll now be 3rd down and about, it looks like 17.
3rd down, 17.
So
yeah,
quite some ground to make up.
I would recommend that the Monarchs keep the ball on the ground here or an easy completable pass. You got to keep the clock running. An incomplete pass is the worst possible thing you can have because A, you're going to give the Crusaders back the ball, and you're going to give them more time on the clock, something that they don't need to give them. Monarchs will call a timeout to mull it over, and we will be back when they return. So the Monarchs offense trots back on the field for this 3rd and 17. They're going to go 4 receivers and 1 running back. Again, wouldn't be surprised if they go conservative play call here. Keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock ticking. Oh, but Shamir Bey keeps it, and he is going to be pressured. He unloads the ball. Tamakura catches it. He's got a little bit of space. He jukes to the inside, and he goes down at about the 28-yard line. Interesting call here now. Do you trust Gunnar Weidick to make a 40-plus yard field goal, or are you going to go for it here on 4th and what looks like 4 to maybe try and secure this game for your team?
I go for it, honestly. But obviously I haven't been this play calls all night, so probably expect the opposite to happen, but we'll see.
It looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the field right here.
Alrighty.
Sticking with the same personnel. You have 4 receivers, the ones we've seen all game, and Tamakura. They may be able to get it on a run, but I would expect maybe an option play. Something quick, get the ball in your receiver's hands, make them make a play. And it looks like Riordan's going to call a timeout before they get a chance. Mull it over, make Sione think about the call more. Because, this is a monumental play right here.
It's their 2nd timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining.
Yeah, so they got about 4 yards to go. So definitely manageable, but you just got to get pretty lucky here.
Monarchs haven't had a whole lot of success on 4th downs in the past couple of years. But, trying to change the culture a little bit around here. If they can get this one, it'll be huge. It'll not only give them the ball, but the ability to run out the clock. Riordan's already used a couple of their timeouts. So this could very well end the game. However, if they fail to get it, Riordan has a very good chance to go down the field, either kick a field goal to tie the game and force overtime, or score a touchdown and give themselves the lead. Neither of these teams today have been able to score very quickly. It's been more of like methodical drives and then ended off with a 10, 20-yard play. So coming down to the end, having to score in a minute or so, not something really in this team's blood.
And they are indeed still going for it.
So it'll be 4th down. Biggest play of the game so far. They shift over Tamakura. Snap to Bay. He's pressured immediately. Gets rid of it, and it's going to be way short. Monarchs offensive line absolutely folded on that play. Brought a lot of pressure, and they got to Shamir Bey, and he had nothing to do. So they still have the lead, but do you have confidence in the Monarch defense right now, if you're a fan, on stopping this Crusaders offense?
I mean, I don't know. I can't really say. I would give my prediction, but I think everyone predicted this game to be a pretty not close Mitty win. So who knows now?
So it's interesting to note, Sarah last week beat this team 41-0, and right now, they're competing with Mitty, and Sarah has to go play, or they have to play Mitty next week. Could be very difficult. Another shed tackle from Crusader receiver, and he looks to be down after taking a 2nd hit.
Ledbetter's pass complete to Jackson.
We'll step away for this injury. We'll be back. So while we're at injury timeout, some keys to the game for the rest of this matchup. What do you think on the Mitty side, at least?
Well, their corners definitely have to minimize, the big plays on running and passing.
Yeah, I
For
think
Riordan.
especially they're giving up a lot more missed tackles in the first than they did in the first half, just like on that play. And also, the pass they've gotten beat 2 times on 4th down, and that could be what this game comes down to. They've got to be able to stop it. Also, update from St. Francis Sacred Heart Cathedral: the Lancers scored a touchdown, and they now lead 35-14 with 6:59 left on the clock.
Looks like a pretty serious injury.
So, the Monarchs, they were up in this game. They went down. It's been back and forth since then. They need to have some consistency left in their game. They can't really afford a loss in this game, especially in a league game. And they need to be able to look at adversity right in the eyes and just stop and perform, something they haven't been able to do the last couple of years. They get punched in the mouth, and, they go right down. They've got to be able to bounce back, punch the other team in the mouth, and keep it that way. That's just got to be the football culture around here. Something Sione is trying to instill when he comes in, and it's just something they haven't really been able to do very much yet. It's because they're still growing. They got a lot of young, talented players, but it's just something that's got to happen sooner rather than later.
This injury looks to be pretty serious.
Yeah, it's something you hate to see. Jackson was having a great game. He made a good play, put his soul on the line for the team, and he gets hit. Could be serious, and looks like they're having to bring the paramedics on, and just something you hate to see, especially in high school.
Yeah. Really quiet out here.
Yeah, that hit that he took really just set waves through the stadium. He was having a great game, and it's just something you really don't want to see. A young player, he was having a great game, gets struck down by an injury. All the fans, both sides, feel really passionate about the sport, and he loves it. And to have it taken away, especially even if just for this game,
It's a big game too.
sucks to see.
Could be, maybe the biggest game of the year for Riordan if they can pull it off.
Both teams are on their knees with respect to their teammates and their opponents. They know it could easily be them in that position.
Yeah.
And it's got to make them think about, how lucky they are to have health. And, it looks like they're going to be calling in the stretcher. This could be bad. We'll step away.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for all your prayerful sessions and appreciate all your thoughts and prayers for Archbishop Riordan's number 6, Aiden Jackson. We wish you all the best, Aiden Jackson.
Thank you for your patience during this injury timeout. Our thoughts go out to number 6, Aiden Jackson and his family. As unfortunate as it may be, we still have a football game to play, and a close one at that. It's 24-21 Mitty with 4:01 left in the game. The Crusaders are facing a 2nd and 9, and they have to find a way to get past this and keep moving the ball. They hand it off, and it looks like it's going to be a fumble, and that's Mitty ball.
A fumble on the play.
It's an unfortunate turn of events for the Crusaders, and it looked like it might put this game away. The Monarchs will now probably be able to run down the clock with the ball. That's their 2nd forced fumble today, and a huge play from the Mitty defense.
Yeah, it's just what they needed. Got to lock down this game for sure.
Monarchs take over at the Crusader.
Monarchs will take over with the ball at about the 43-yard line.
1st and 10.
They'll bring the offense out. Expect them to run down the clock here.
It seems like their best defensive weapon this game has been Derek Cho, who's been getting a good amount of tackles.
Yeah, he's leading the team in tackles right now. Interesting to know, I wonder who forced that fumble. They hand it off to Tabankura. He cuts it up.
Nice.
And he gashes them for about an 11-yard gain.
Tabankura, the ball carrier. Tackled by Ledbetter. Gain of 11 to the 31. 1st and 10.
Do it for Aiden!
So the Monarchs, with a 1st down, move the chains. And it looks like they drew an offsides penalty on the Crusaders. That'll move the ball 5 yards forward.
Encroachment against the Crusaders. 5-yard penalty.
Indeed, it is encroachment on the Crusaders. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Monarchs. Clock's running down to about 3:10. Shamir Bey getting the play from the sideline. You know, this game looked like it was going to be ramping up to be a great ending, and then they forced the fumble. You know, an unfortunate turn of events for the Crusaders, but now the Monarchs get the ball, and it looks like they'll be able to run down the clock. We're not going to get the fairy tale ending we were thinking about, but
Yeah.
it was still a good overall football game. The Crusaders battled.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see if they can get one more stop. And Tabankura pounds it forward, getting pushed from his offensive line. Keeps turning his legs to about the 10-yard line of Archbishop Riordan.
Yeah, I mean, of course, no one wants to lose, but if you're Riordan, I mean, you got to be at least somewhat pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you got to be content with how your team play.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and, you know, after what happened, it's kind of hard to come right back from that.
Yeah, you pair that and the fumble, and you know, things start going a little bit downhill. But you know, as long as maybe they hold them to a field goal here, I'd consider that a win. You can come back in the next week, make sure your players are okay, and then move on. If I'm not mistaken, they play Bellarmine next week.
Yeah, and Bellarmine's been having their struggles, so that's
it could be a good bounce back win for the Crusaders.
Hopefully they can make up some ground there.
Snap goes to Bay, hands off to Tabankura again on the outside. Flag on the play. Needs to be taken down at about the 5-yard line if it stands.
Tabankura, the ball carrier. There is a flag on the play. At the moment, it's about a 6-yard gain, but it is holding against the Monarchs.
So it looks like it's going to be a flag on the Monarchs. It'll be brought back to the 20-yard line. Clock's stuck at 1:50 right now. It'll be 1st and 18, and it'll be a timeout.
Timeout, Crusaders. This is their final timeout of regulation.
So the Monarchs still have the ball. We will come back after this break when they're back on the field. Monarchs drop back out there.
Trying to seal this one up.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be in victory formation. You know, the way this game started and the way the Crusaders took the lead is refreshing to see the Monarchs be able to do this.
Yeah.
You know, we thought that there was a chance that they had lost all momentum and, you know, the pendulum was going to swing completely the other way to the Crusaders. But they bounced back. Credit to Coach Sione, credit to the offense. You know, they bounced back. They punched Riordan back in the mouth like we said they needed to. And right now, they're up, taking knees to win the game. The clock's going to continue to run. Riordan's out of timeouts. And the Monarchs are going to be able to sneak out of here with a win, 24-21. Only a couple more kneels, and this game will be over.
Yeah, Mitty has a tough schedule coming up, so it's good to get this win right now because they have, I believe it's Sarah next week.
Yeah, on the road too.
Yeah, so that's going to be tough. And then I think it's 2 weeks after that they have St. Francis, who's, like I said, has been having their struggles. St. Francis is always going to be a tough opponent.
And they've played some really difficult teams.
Yeah, and
so
St. Francis.
You can never count them out.
St. Francis with a big win tonight.
Yeah, and they poured it on after being tied 14-14. Sacred Heart Cathedral, they poured it on and ended up scoring at least 28 straight. So, looks like one more kneel from Shamir Bey, and the Monarchs will get out on this Friday night with a win. And just like that, it'll do it. The Monarchs get the win, 24-21. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Aiden Jackson and his family for the Crusaders. But for now, it's a 24-21 win for the Monarchs. Thank you for tuning in to AMHS Live.
Yeah, well said, Jack. So again, thank you for tuning into tonight's game. And shout out to our wonderful crew of Ben Nguyen, Srikar Rajendran, Logan Hibb, Ross McDonald, John Cerny, Kai Hegman, Jen Heiss, Royce Dixon-Child, Tay Nicole Del Mundo, and Martine Maries for making this broadcast possible.
We'll see you in a couple weeks at home at Archbishop Mitty High School.
Yep. Like he said, tune into our next broadcast on Friday, October 25th, as the Monarchs take on the St. Francis Lancers in homecoming night football at Archbishop Mitty. Good night and have a great weekend.
Don't forget, Monarch fans, the Monarchs are on the road. Traveling up to Sarah and Freitas Field next Friday night. 7 p.m. kickoff against the